Hola, hola everyone. Welcome back to the Resin Lab by Alexandra. This is episode 13, and today I'm going to make this hourglass that is really cute. It came as a surprise mold with my resin mold box order. So I haven't decided if I'm going to do mica powder in the mold or if I'm gonna just cast it and then paint it with my acrylic markers after the fact. So I haven't decided what to do with that yet. I think I might do the acrylic markers after the fact and then spray seal it so that the acrylic markers, because they dry matte, so that way the acrylic markers shines and it seals in the paint. So that's that. And then I bought this mold also from Resin Mold Box, which was formerly Resin Mold Express. And I thought this would make a nice display stand for my booth at my next craft market, which is, well, it's not a craft market, it's actually a chocolate and wine festival, but I'm going as a craft vendor, which is on January 10th. 2026. So if you're watching this, today is Wednesday, January 7th, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, January 7th. And if you're in Raleigh, North Carolina, swing by the Chocolate and Wine and Whiskey Festival at the North Carolina Fairgrounds. That's where I'll be. Look for me in my booth. I'd love to meet you if you're in the area. But yeah, so let's get started. Okay, I'm back and I decided I'm going to go ahead and brush some mica powder onto the figures. So if you look closely, this is a really cute piece. It is an hourglass that has a young couple at the top and an older couple at the bottom. So it's basically representing time passing for, a couple that has been together for a long time, which I thought is really, really cute. So I'm going to do the younger couple in Scarlet by Rolio with the Silver Ash by Rolio. And then the older couple I'm going to do in Burgundy by Rolio with the Graphite Black for the man by Rolio. And then the outer layer or the outer border I'm going to do in Copper, all by Rolio today. So I'm going to go ahead and put you on a fast forward while I brush on this mica powder because it will take a while and I don't want y'all to get bored. So enjoy. 200 milliliters of resin, and I'm going to color it with the Roleo pigment paste. I decided to do the back, well, I decided to pour into this mold a cream color, but I don't have a cream color, so I'm gonna make it. Hopefully I can get the right shade. And I'm gonna use the Roleo Pure White Pigment Paste and the Aureoline Yellow. So let's see how that goes. I'm gonna start with the white. And hopefully everyone's having a good week so far. Okay, go for a little bit more. I really want those mica powders to pop, so I looked up on ChatGPT what color would make those colors pop, and it said cream. So we're gonna go with cream. The question is, can I make the cream color? That is the question. But I think I can. I've made colors before. So it's still a little too translucent. So I'm gonna add just a little bit more pigment paste. Okay, so now still not quite convinced of the white, but I'm going to start adding a little bit of yellow. And you want to make sure you mix your pastes before you add them into your resin. And a little goes a long way. Okay, so I definitely got to put more white in there. And that was just a little bit of yellow, so that is too yellow. Yeah, that is way too yellow. That's not what I wanted. But the good thing is I have my other mold that I can pour in yellow. I wanted to make my stand purple because, or black, because my display items are black and white, my shelves and everything that I take with me to the markets. I suppose, let me just, it's a really strong yellow. Yeah, this is not gonna look good. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is add some black mica powder to this and see if that drowns out my color. And hopefully it doesn't. And I'm getting yellow pigment everywhere. So let me wipe that off. Oh no, I made a bigger mess. Oh man, I'm gonna put you all on pause for a moment while I clean that up. 1 second. Okay, so I cleaned up the black mica powder. Luckily, none of it got on here, which is great. I just have to finish mixing this black now. And it looks a little more like charcoal gray, which is fine because I'm going to use this on the stands. I'm a little bummed that my color experiment didn't work out, but I think what I'll do is maybe try doing white and gold, a drop of gold. I think that would probably work better. I used my color wheel to figure out what would make beige, and it showed that yellow and white, but maybe that's just not the right tone or the right color mixture. But nonetheless, luckily this isn't in order, so if it doesn't come out great, you know, it's not a big deal. But I really do want it to come out nice. Okay. So these are shallow molds, so I'm not gonna debubble this. Plus they're gonna be display stands for my items. So I'm gonna start by pouring these pieces first. Get this out of the way so it doesn't get alcohol. Okay. I'm just glad I was able to salvage this resin and change the color. I'm seeing a streak of white, but again, this is just a display stand for my market, so I'm not concerned about it. But if you like this display stand, this is nice, something nice to have to display little trinkets and whatnot. So this took about 80 milliliters. I'm gonna dome it a little bit. Okay. Gonna move that out of the way. Pour this guy. Okay. So that took about 20, 40, about 40. So hopefully the rest is enough for this mold here, which it might not be. Nope, not enough. But I can always back coat it with clear, so that's what I'll do. All right. Okay, I'm gonna mix up some more resin and see if I can get that color the way that I want it. And then we'll pour the hourglass. Okay, I'm back. I mixed another 200 milliliters just to be safe because I want to get the color correct. And if I have extra, then that's better. But if I don't have enough, and I won't be able to match this color again. So just wanted to be on the safe side. I think it's going to be a little too much, but I can always pour some bonus pieces. So in here I have this is a pigment powder that I got at Michael's. It's Recollections White. So this has kind of like a cream color look to it. So I decided to go with that, and then I'm gonna do just maybe half a scoop of gold and see if I can get, this is also from Michael's. This is Bright Gold from Recollections. So I'm just gonna do a tiny drop of that. And I've already added some alcohol in there. So let's transfer this over. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's much better. I think I might put a little more gold just to get more of that cream color. But let's put in the rest of the resin. Okay, so that's that there. All right, I'm going to add another touch of gold. And that's the color I was looking for. Yep, much better. All right. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and vacuum chamber this, and then it'll be time to pour. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. I've got my resin debubbled, and it did spill over in the vacuum chamber, but luckily I put a bigger cup under it, so I don't have any wasted resin, nor do I have a mess in my vacuum chamber. So let's pour. I really am so pleased on how this color came out. I think it's the perfect shade or tone, or I'm not quite sure the term, because I'm not an expert at mixing colors, but it looks cream. So, all right, let's, oops, got my finger in this one. Let's pour. Okay, those edges are going to be a little tough to do. So I'm going to pull out a syringe. Okay. So that took about 100 milliliters. So look at that, I mixed double what I needed, but that's okay. I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to move that aside and find something else to pour. What can I pour? What can I pour? I can pour, I think I'll pour another coaster. Let's do a square coaster. It's a little dirty, so let me clean this up. Okay. Go ahead and spritz that. Spritz that. Easy peasy. Okay. And I still have a little bit in this cup here. All right. Oh, I'm so excited to see this piece, y'all. I can't wait to see. I normally don't brush mica powders onto my molds, so I'm curious to see how I did and how this cream color makes everything pop according to ChatGPT. So, all right, I'm gonna let these two pieces sit for about 30 minutes and then place them on the heat mat. And place those on the heat mat now, and then we'll see you on demold. Welcome back. It is time to demold. So let's start with this base. I did finish it off with some black off camera, and I noticed that it kind of warped a little bit. So I don't know if that was the heat mat or what happened. You can kind of see here, so when I placed it on the heat mat to begin with, the resin that I had originally poured wasn't enough, so it created a hole right here. So here you can see the black that I poured on the bottom. But again, this is a display piece that I'm going to use at the craft market, so I'm not concerned about it. But now I know how much this takes. I do have a little bit of a wave here. I'm not sure if that's part of the mold again, or if the heat mat warped it. So let's do this piece. And of course this piece I touched when it was still curing, so I got this little bump here. Not a big deal. I'll sand it down off camera, because again, this is just a display piece. But look, that actually fits. I was a little concerned about that fitting, but that fits perfect. And I do have to make one more of these because it only comes with one of these molds, and that fits right there. So that's good. So I just have to make one more of these, and I'll be able to display some items on my shelves. But that's not bad. If you display anything at like a market, this is a pretty decent mold to get. I got this from the Resin Mold Box, formerly Resin Mold Express. So let's see, let me just take this off. So you do have to kind of snap it in there. So I'm trying to snap it in off camera. So I wonder if, oh, huh. I wonder if I poured too much resin on this side, so I might have to shave it down. So let's try that. Yep, I think I poured too much. There we go. Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is a nice little stand to have. I'm going to glue the base so that it doesn't come apart. But yeah, so that's the stand. So not bad. I won't be doing a final video or a spinning clip on this one, because again, this isn't for selling. This is just for my use. If you're interested in ordering one though, just let me know. but otherwise I'll link the mold in the description box. Okay, so the next one we have, let's do the coaster. Pretty simple. I think what I'm going to do is take this sticker and put it in here and then do a top coat of the Fast Cure. So I'll go ahead and do that. And then the final product that I was excited about is the hourglass. And that looks amazing. That came out really nice. The cream color does make everything pop. And can't really tell the difference too much between the burgundy and the red, or the two colors I used here, but nonetheless, it looks really nice. I just have to trim the edges a little bit, and yep, trim the edges. And then what I'll do is put a little hanger piece in the back so that it can be hung up on the wall. That's what I'll do. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get the sticker on here, do another top coat of that, do the little hanger here, and then I might as well pour another one of these so I can complete that, and I'll be right back. I'm back. Let's finish this up. So I'm gonna go ahead and demold this little guy here and see how that came out. Not too bad. A few micro bubbles, but not too bad nonetheless. That's gonna go in my giveaway bin. And then I poured a second plate, which came out good. So let's go ahead and let's bring this over. And that's the finished piece. So I'm gonna glue this on so that it stays nice and sturdy. But that's the finished piece. But this won't be showcased at the end of the video because again, I'm using it for myself. Here is the coaster. I did the sticker with a clear top coat, nothing fancy. Trim the edges. Actually, no, I didn't trim the edges. Let me go ahead and do that now. And I'm gonna have to add some bumpers to this. So let me get those. All right, got some bumpers to put on the back, or on the bottom rather. And I'll link these in the description box. I think I may have forgotten to link these before. So I'll make sure that I add them in the description box for y'all. So yep, that makes it nice and sturdy. And then finally to the hourglass, all I did was take one of my little wall hangers. I glued it in place so it doesn't jiggle around. And then I used a different color screw only because I didn't want it to protrude from the front. So it worked perfectly. So that's that. So this is now something that can be hung on the wall. So that is today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you made it this far, thank you for sticking through it with me. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. For those of you that have subscribed, thank you so much again from the bottom of my heart. I hope you don't get tired of hearing me say that after every video. I'm getting close to 400 subscribers, and I've decided that once I hit 500, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. So keep watching so that you know when that giveaway will be, because I don't know when I'm going to hit 500. It could be in a couple of days. It could be in a couple of weeks. But if you are a subscriber and you want to be part of that giveaway, please make sure that I can see your name, your subscriber name, your YouTube username, so that I can put your name on it's this app that has like a little spinning wheel on it. So if I can't see your name, then you won't be entered into the giveaway. So if you haven't already, I don't know what that setting is. I think it's making your subscriptions public. I'm not sure. If you prefer not to, then that's okay. There will be other giveaways that I do that that will be in different formats. But for this first giveaway, I'm going to be doing a spin wheel with everyone's username on it. So if again, if you'd like to participate, please make sure that your subscription is public or visible so that I can see it. And if you are not sure if it's visible, drop a comment below and ask me if I can see your username, and I'll let you know in the comments if I can or not. Otherwise, have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you all on Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Bye.